Greetings nerds and virgins, welcome to the video. Today we're going to be going through the worst robberies the UFC has ever seen. But before we start, can you like and subscribe? I'm getting views, but I want some subscribers as well since I'm building a community here. So please subscribe to hop on the shadow train. Choo choo, hop on the shadow train. But yeah, so starting off this list, we gotta start off with an obvious one. Dominic Reyes vs Jon Jones. Now guys, even the Jon Jones biggest fanboys can't find a way to twist the fight and screw it for him. Their best excuse is that Jones won the championship rounds, but that's the dumbest argument in MMA history, and I see it a lot where fans are like, to be the champion you gotta really beat the champion. And yeah, I could see that argument if the way the scoring criteria works was different, but it isn't. There wasn't even a toss-up round in that fight at all. It was an obvious 3 rounds for Reyes and the final 2 rounds were for Jones. But I think there's more of a case for 49-46 Reyes than there is for 48-47 for Jon Jones, since that 4th round was the closest round in the entire fight. Nevertheless, so the next robbery we got on this list is of course Max Holloway vs Calvin Kattar. I meant Alexander Volkanovski too. Now, as an Australian, I must admit I'm more of a Max fan than I am of Volkanovski, but I'm a big fan of both fighters, and I think anyone with eyes can see the real winner of that fight. Hell, even blind people can see that Max Holloway won that fight. I mean, I take that back because clearly the judges are blind, so yeah, I guess I was wrong on that one. But round 1, Max Holloway gets a knockdown on Volkanovski at the end of the round with a head kick after a close round and yoinks that round. Round 2 is another close round, but Holloway drops Volkanovski with an uppercut at the end of it. Round 3 is the round which decides the winner of the fight, so I'll advise you to watch that round right now on UFC Fight Pass or something, and don't watch Weasel's breakdown since that clown already got exposed for not counting shots in certain fights to portray the picture he wants to portray. The next biggest robbery in UFC though, we got Sandman Corey Sandhagen vs EPO boy himself, TJ Needleshaw. So I'm going to be real, I don't remember off the top of my head who won which rounds, but I do know that Corey Sandhagen damage trumped any ground game Dillashaw did against Sandhagen. And speaking of ground game, Corey Sandhagen literally broke TJ Needleshaw's leg with a corkscrew and nearly inverted triangle him after throwing his infamous flying knee at TJ's head. TJ shot 19 takedowns against Sandhagen, which I find funny considering the fact everyone talks about how good of a striker TJ Dillashaw is. But yeah, the faces at the end of the fight showed the real winner of that fight, and even by MMA scoring criteria, Corey clearly won, just like Kamaru Usman clearly won against Kumshot Chimaev but got robbed. Speak about a hype train, I don't know what Chimaev's thinking about going up against Bobby Knuckles when he couldn't even beat a 12 days notice Kamaru Usman, who's a welterweight, and he couldn't even beat him fairly. He had to pay off the judges, just like when he lost to Gilbert Burns. Okay, realistically though, Khamzat Chimaev did win round 1 by a 10-8, complete and utter domination that round, but the next 2 rounds there's no way in blue hell he won. Usman was piecing him up like a jigsaw puzzle on the feet, and Khamzat's takedowns attempts were all getting stopped. Off topic, but imagine if that was a 5-rounder. Khamzat would literally be in a coffin right now like he was against the common cold. You would have thought Khamzat was the one coming in 12 days notice the way he gassed out in the 3rd round. But nah, but hey, what goes around comes around, because Kamaru Usman vs Colby Covington 2 should have been a draw as well, so I guess this is karma on Kamaru Usman. Next up though, we got the most obvious robbery on this list, that is Alexander Volkanovski against Islam Makhachev 1. Guys, come on now, hanging on to someone's back for a dear life, not even attempting a submission while getting pummeled in the face, is not winning a round. Islam had a dominant position, that was clearly his round, is what every nerd and virgin said ever. I don't care if you have mount, if you are the one getting punched in your face and getting it caved in, then you are the one losing the fight. A fight is more about damage than it is positions in my and the judging's opinion. It's sad that the UFC told the judges to rig Volkanovski in his own country, but hey, they need their cash cow in Abu Dhabi, so I see why they pulled a fast one, old Volkanovski. It's just sad to see though. Some honorable mentions we got for robberies in the UFC. We got, first of all, is Jared Gordon versus Paddy Pimblett, but I'm a bit iffy on that one since on the rewatch with no commentary, I could see a case to be made for Paddy catching that W, and honestly, Jared Gordon's a bit of a bum of a fighter anyway, so let's just let Pimblett have that one. Another honorable mention we got goes to Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker 2, where Whittaker had a very smart game plan, but I guess the judges only wanted to score that type of game plan when Jan Blachowicz did it to Adesanya. Another honorable mention has to go to Alistair Overeem versus Stipe Miocic, since Alistair clearly felt a tap. But yeah guys, let me know some big UFC robberies I missed out on in the comments below, and no, don't say Sean O'Malley versus Peter Yan, since Yan got butchered like a lamb in a slaughterhouse. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the top.
You tried to break me, but you couldn't tear me apart. I've got a fire inside, gonna ignite and restart. I'm rising up higher than before. With every step I take, I'm closing in on the score.